Welcome back to Cookie Cutter to Custom. This video will feature dining room customizing ideas for Michelle in Charlotte, North Carolina. Before we get started, let me review a few notes and goals of this video. Recommendations are made based on photos and notes provided by the homeowner. Solutions offered are meant to be as cost-effective as possible. Ideas presented are meant to be simple and DIY-oriented. Suggestions are meant to inspire homeowner to start customizing. Now let's go over some of the notes Michelle provided me along with her pictures. The big issue she has with this room is the chandelier that came with the house. She wants this space to feel warm and inviting and not stiff and formal. And she would love a better position with the wine fridge that you'll see pictured. Okay, now on to the photos. We can get a great view here of this beautiful dining space. And something that really jumps out to me is that gorgeous ceiling medallion that highlights the chandelier. But the chandelier, as Michelle pointed out, not very special. Now here we do see a picture of the wine fridge and the wine chiller on top of it, and you'll notice on the wall there is a beautiful fixture or wall art that has some gold accents in it like other parts of the room. Now here is a chandelier that I highly recommend for Michelle to consider for this space. Now in my experience, I have replaced fixtures I have not been happy with, but sometimes all it takes is changing out the shades to the fixture or possibly even painting the fixture itself. Now when you factor in the price of replacing all of the lampshades and buying the paint to actually redo a piece, sometimes it's more cost effective to simply take it down, sell it online, and get yourself a new piece. Now the one you're looking at right now, I chose from ATG's website, and that stands for All That's Good. And it is a website owned by Lowe's, and it has an enormous selection of so many wonderful things for the home, including light fixtures. Now this fixture here has 5 lamps versus the 4 that were on her current chandelier, and you'll notice that these are pointed upward. It removes some of the harshness of the light that can come when the lampshades are pointed down. Now this lamp, or chandelier I should say, is available for only $149 and free shipping on the ATG site. So it's really a great price. Now Michelle did say she wants this space to feel warm and inviting and not stiff and formal. I feel like this fixture is warm and inviting. And I feel that way because the color of the fixture really stands out to me. The patina finish on here is sort of silvery, but also sort of gold. And she did have quite a few gold accents within this space, but she also had crystal accents, which to me evoke a little bit more of a silver color. So I think that this piece is still beautiful to look at. It's perfectly fine to give a more casual feel, and it also can go the other way and feel more formal if the occasion calls for it. Now some other ways to make a space feel less formal is in the linens you may choose if you're dining in this space. You may want to opt for more natural finishes and fabrics versus silky or satiny ones. Okay, I really want to introduce to you paint crystals. Now these have been around for a while, but either people haven't heard of them or they're scared of them. And I'll tell you, I've used these in a couple of locations in my home, and they really are terrific. They are available at Lowe's for just under $7 a pack. And they work very easily. You simply pour the little packet there into your paint and roll it right on the wall. Now, paint crystals might sound a little scary, but I assure you they're not. They are well worth the risk of waiting to see if you like it or not once the paint dries. But this really just gives a little bit of shimmer to your walls. And what I'd like to recommend to Michelle is to consider the tray ceiling in her dining space. Now she has that beautiful accent in the ceiling with the medallion to highlight a chandelier, but it's getting a little lost on the white ceiling. So I would recommend going to Lowe's or Sherwin-Williams or some other paint store and getting a different shade of white that's just a little different than the ceiling trim and medallion color of white. Now this is going to be extremely subtle, but a huge wow factor, especially when your chandelier is on and you have those lights looking up. It's really going to make a big impact, but a fun one. It's not necessarily stiff or formal, but it can be something that really knocks your socks off and something unexpected for your guests to see when they're visiting. Now, I will tell you that when you're using paint crystals, you need to, once you mix them in, you need to paint fairly quickly, not within seconds or minutes, but I believe after a few hours, the paint crystals will dissolve into the paint. And you may not see the paint crystals as you are painting. It's when they dry that you're able to see them, and they are extremely subtle. You don't have to worry about it being overpowering. In fact, I would recommend you talk to an associate at Lowe's, because they very well may recommend putting 2 packets to a gallon of paint, which is what I did. And many people don't necessarily see the sparkle right away until I point it out to them or flick a light on. So very well worth it. I think you'd be extremely satisfied with the results of this, and I bet you'll even find other places in your home to use these paint crystals. Now, if you are going to take the leap and use these on the ceiling in your dining room, I highly recommend that you talk to an associate at the store to ask what type of paint is the best match. I would recommend getting a flat paint for a ceiling, especially if you're using these paint crystals. You don't want them to compete with any sort of shine or shimmer in an eggshell, satin, or even a semi-gloss, but most people wouldn't use semi-gloss on a ceiling. But just consider that and talk to a specialist at the paint store when you're determining what type of paint sheen or finish you're going to get. Okay, I wanted to take another quick glance at the wine fridge, and you can see where it's currently placed. And I would imagine it's in that position because if you were to turn it 45 degrees, it would probably stick out from the wall a little bit. And I gotta say that's probably okay, because you can see on the other side of the wall divided there is the piano, which is also sticking out a bit. So I was thinking that stock cabinets might be a great idea, and here's one example. You can get 2 stock cabinets that you can take home today from Lowe's or Home Depot and place them on either side of your wine fridge. Then you can go to a local business that sells granite directly to have them custom cut a piece to fit on top. Now, this particular cabinet is available at Lowe's. You can see in this picture it's being used as an island, but I think another great use for it would be to place the wine fridge right next to it, and again, have a piece of granite custom cut to fit over both items. This way you have a little storage on either side of the refrigerator to store glasses or snacks or any other goodies. So this stock cabinet is available for $259, again at Lowe's. I'd like to give a special thank you to Michelle from Charlotte, North Carolina, for giving me the opportunity to look at pictures of her space and make some recommendations on how she can customize it. If you have an area in your home that you'd like some ideas on how to customize, email me at cookiecuttertocustom@gmail.com.